let's get this started. Arc Reactor, you are gonna stay off my chest, and I'm just gonna time you for an hour. Virgil, Aeneid by Robert Fagles. Chapter 12, the final book of all. The sword decides all. The finale, the grand finale, and it's worth twisting this to get a ringtone. Okay, round of applause, everyone. So Turnus decides to go fight Aeneas alone for both the kingdoms and for Lavinia's hand. Like, I will fight you. I'll fight you if it means I get Lavinia, if I win, and the kingdom. Yeah, it's so good. And King Latinus and Queen Amata protest, wanting Turnus to actually surrender and protect his life. But Turnus ignores all this. Like, I will die to the death. It means I'll have Lavina. And valuing his honor over his life. So the Latinus draws up the appropriate treaty with Aeneas' consent, and the next day, the armies gather as spectators on either side of the field, watching Aeneas and Turnus fight a 1-to-1 death. Juno worries about Turnus because she suspects that Aeneas will countermatch him, which I guess is the truth. And she calls Jutana, Turnus' sister, and tells her to watch out for her brother's safety. Watch out for your brother's safety, will you? Sure, Juno, goddess. And more something I can say else is because of this, Turnus and Aeneas have to go fight again and again and again for the death of, Lavina's hand in marriage. And we all know what that means, right? Why do these people want Lavina's hand in marriage anyway? First of all, I guess it's for a little love. I guess it's because she's beautiful too. And second of all, I guess it's also because they want the claim to the kingdom. And when king dies, and possibly also the queen, then Laviana will not be the next ruler, but her husband will. That's kind of a really lame move though, but at least their ancestry will still live on, I guess. And we all know how it ends. Aeneas and Turnus go in a 1-on-1 battle, and then someone interrupts it, and they had to start the war again. After they started the war again, they started the whole war again, and they continue going conflict. One person decided to actually shoot another general by himself, but then Juno, and he was self-doubting himself, and then Juno decided that, like, hey, fuel that anger, and kept putting the wood into that fire. And this is basically where it all ended. And yeah, finally, Aeneas and Turnus, watching Aeneas leave the field actually gives Turnus new hope, and he enters the battle and lays waste to a slew of soldiers on the Trojan side. So meanwhile, Aeneas helped back to the camp. I'm back at camp, but the physician cannot remove the arrow from his leg. I can't remove the arrow from your leg. Venus pities her suffering son and sends down a healing balm. The physician uses the balm, dislodging the arrow and closing the wound. Thank you, Venus. Aeneas takes up his arms again and returns the vow. And the Latin troops scatter in terror. It's Aeneas scattered! Because they're really terrified of Aeneas. I'm not sure that they were very terrified but the Greeks weren't that very terrified when they saw Aeneas. But Aphrodite, Venus, basically dropped her own son. How do you speak of that, will ya? So, yeah. First, Aeneas and Turnus, after getting back together again, tossed their spears. I have a spear. Toss. Ow, that hurt. At least I have a shield. Your shield's no match for my shield. Really? It's made by Vulcan. That doesn't really happen. At Turnus' first strike, his sword suddenly breaks off at the hilt. In his haste, he grabs some of the other soldiers' weaker sword, so this is basically what happened. So this is some other soldier's weaker sword, and Turnus was so desperate that he grabbed it. He just grabbed it without looking and decided that he would use it to fight Aeneas and my super sword smash. Ting! It's someone else's sword. And he retreats and tries to find his own stronger sword. Finally, he finds it, and then he gets beaten up by Aeneas, and Aeneas actually considers sparing him, but then sees Pallas's belt, which basically is his friend's belt, and remembers that he just wants Turnus' death, and I will kill you! Smash! And kills him in revenge. I wonder what Hector thought of that. It's probably harsh. Achilles would probably have thought that was harsh too. So Juno finally gives in and consents to abandon her grudge against Aeneas, and on one condition: she wants the victorious Trojans to take on the name and the language of the Latins. And Jupiter gladly agrees. Basically, they have to become Latins. No! And Jupiter sends down one of the Furies, who assumes the form of the bird and flaps and shrieks in front of Turnus, filling him with terror and weakening him. And that's how Turnus actually loses. So, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Hanshan Shon. I'll see you guys in the next episode of Hanshan Shon. Shout out. Peace. La 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 la. Okay, you don't want to be here, do you? See you guys soon. Shout out. Peace.